Hello everybody and welcome to my first ever hair tutorial. I keep getting asked by a lot of people how I manage to do all my vintage hairstyles and whatnot. So I thought the best thing to do, because I can't get around and do everyone else's hair for them, was to do some video tutorials so I can show everyone just how easy it is to do your own hair. In vintage styles, I should add. So I'm going to, today, because it's better to start with the basics, really. So today I'm going to turn this frizzy mass of crap into 50s style Marilyn Monroe pin curls, with a beautiful little hair clip in that I bought at a vintage fair the other week. And I was actually lucky enough to get a discount code for all of you lovely people as well if you want to buy things from them as well. So I will put that in the description at the bottom at the end of the video. So here goes. What you need for this is basic curling tongs. These are mine, pretty little pink things. You need pin curl clips. Really important that you have these because bobby pins, they've got the little dents in them so it can dent the curls. So you really need these ones. They're quite cheap. You can get them. I bought mine a big massive box of them for like £7 off Amazon. Cheap as chips. You know you don't lose any of them. I've got like 100 of the things. It's brilliant. You want a pin tail comb, rat tail comb, whichever one you want to call it. Because you need to do partings and whatnot. You need a paddle brush. My paddle brush is a special one because my hair is actually glued in extensions. Because it's quite short on its own. So you're going to get to see a lot of different layers going on and how you work around them as well. But any old paddle brush works. This one is covered in hair, I apologise. But this one stops my extensions from getting really tatty. And also you need your hair clip. This is mine that I'm using today. Beautiful sparkles, it's wonderful. So here goes. It's very simple. It'll take probably about half an hour. It might take you a couple of tries to get the pin curls down perfectly when you first try and do them, but I'm not obviously going to film every single pin curl I do. I'll just show you the basics of how to do them, and then jump forward to the good bit at the end. So let's begin. You always start, part your hair off. Mine's already done in the parting. There it is. You can see there, just my lovely standard little side parting. And all you need to do is split little sections off out of the front piece. Not only do I have extensions in, which makes my hair all manner of weird lengths, but I've also got a side fringe. So I've got shorter bits at the front as well, which doesn't really help when it comes to curling. So all you have to do, take the little section, hold it up, and you want to curl going that way. So all of the curls will face the right way. They will have to match. Oops. Otherwise the style won't work properly, which you don't want. Oh dear. If bits come out, just wrap them round. Just as long as they get some curl in them. It will mostly be done while it's hot. So as long as it's got some sort of heat on it when it's pinned, it'll still work quite well. So you let that go. There's a random bit that's didn't want to play nicely, so I'm going to curl it in anyway. So you just gather up the curl. So your hair looks like that, if you can see. Put the clip in the middle, and there you have it. It's just a little circle. Now here is where the extensions start coming in, and it starts getting a little bit awkward for me. If you haven't got extensions in, obviously you're not going to have all manner of different lengths. If you can see there's just one really random long bit, which is really annoying, but it's what I thought. So, try and keep it all in as much as possible. Go down to the end of the longest bit, wrap the shortest bit, sorry. Then if you wrap the long part, the random one little long strand out, around the curling tong, then it'll still work just the same, and it'll still get the curl in it that you want. It doesn't take long, really. You don't have to leave your hair in the tong for very long. It rhymes. Because as long as it's warm, as long as your hair is hot. Sometimes the longer the curling tongs have been on, obviously your hair can get quite hot. And I've had a few moments where I wish I've had asbestos fingers because my hair has just been that hot and my hands have been touching it, and it's awful. Awful. This is the last little section now that's going to go on the front part. You want them all round about the same size. This one's a little tiny bit smaller, but so you wrap that round. Keep wrapping. See, there's still a little bit out here. So if you just loosen the tong, because you don't want to pull all the other hair out that's in there, the shorter hairs. And there's still a little tiny bit hanging out, so you just tighten it up a little bit more. If I hold that out to the side, you can see it. And now that little strand is in, and it's all on the curling tong, rolled up nicely, and that works fine. What you want to do is you just loosen it off a little bit, just by pressing that a little bit. Just might take a little while, but you don't want to completely unravel the curl. They look like that, if I hide that hair. If you don't scoop them straight up, they drop down like ringlets, which is kind of what you want at the end. Obviously you do brush them out though. And there you have it. There are the 3 front pin curls, which make up for the bit that sort of sticks up and comes round. It looks ever so pretty when it's all done. The rest of the hair doesn't have to be in as small sections. You can do them a little bit bigger if you so desire. As long as you can get them all of the hair in the curling tong, it doesn't really matter how big the sections are. As long as all of the hair gets heat to it. Very hot. Don't do that at home. So many burns off curling tongs recently. And there's the other one, if you can see it there. It's quite difficult because my hair's black, obviously. So it's a bit difficult to see. Hopefully with the light wall behind me, you should be able to see a little bit more. I did originally try and do it with the window in front of me rather than to the side, and it didn't work. It was a big mistake. Now, as you can see, this section's just a little bit bigger. It just really depends. If you want to do smaller sections, you can. The curls will stay in longer if you do. It is completely your personal preference as to how tight you want them. I think if I was doing a wet set and sleeping overnight in them, then I would do smaller curls. I will be doing that actually in a month's time, because for my brother's wedding I will be wet setting my hair the night before the wedding. So I've got beautiful curly hair for the day. I might do a tutorial on that actually, I'm not entirely sure, because I've got to do the mother of the bride's hair as well. So I might film her if she'll let me, film doing her hair as a wet set. It's pretty much along the same lines, but you don't have to curl it with a curling tong, and it's all wet, and you just roll it up, pin it down and then sleep on it. It's quite easy, really. But if anyone wants that tutorial, then just comment and let me know, and I will get on that for you. So, curling tongs are really hot now, so this is actually burning my finger quite drastically. So you just roll it up. I think you've got the basic gist. You want all of the curls to face the right way. So, as you can see, I've got them all facing that way, so there's that way. And that's what you want to do with all of them, even this side. I'll show you one on this side. So there you have that section. I tend to do this quite caggy-handed, so don't judge me on how I roll this side of my hair. See, little bits fall out. Just roll them up. Joys of having layers in the front sections. It's frustrating, you just have to keep working with it. You can do all the vintage styles. A lot of people don't think you can if you've got bangs, as the Americans call them. Just call them fringes. You can do it, it just takes a bit more product. And it's a bit more hard work, really, just to try and like get them all in and get it all looking smooth. I think victory rolls are going to be my next tutorial anyway, so I can show you that one. So you've got your little curl this side, as you can see, and you just bunch it up, roll it, the same as all the others, and you pin it down. So there you have it. You have your pin curl, and it faces going that way on this side, because you want them all going the right way. You want all rolls to go exactly the right way. So I will carry on and come back to you afterwards. Okay, so once you've pin curled all your hair, you will look like this. Only very mildly ridiculous, I think you'll agree. All the curls facing the right way round, so they all match. All you want to do is you just need to make sure that you let your hair completely cool down before you remove the pin curl clips. You can do your makeup in between, you know, just curl your hair first, pin curl it, crack on with your makeup, absolutely fine. Usually takes about 20 minutes, half an hour to completely cool. What you can do, if your hair's still a little bit soft, if you've just washed it, spray it with hairspray and it'll help set it a little bit more. You could use setting lotion if you want to, it's entirely up to you. I don't tend to use anything unless it's just been washed, and then I do put a bit of hairspray on. I tend to save it till the very end, to be honest. So, what we can do now is start removing the clips. So, if you start at the front, with the ones you did first, they will still stay in the little circles that they are in. Some of them will drop down, you'll start looking a little bit like Annie. Is it Annie? Raggedy Ann? Something like that. With really, really curly hair. But this is pretty much the base to do nearly all pin-up styles. So it's a good place to start, to be honest. It's good to practice this to get it completely perfect. Just so you can properly get the pin-up style curls that you want. Try not to pull the curls out too much when you're removing the clips. Sometimes my hair gets stuck in bits of the clips, so it pulls a little bit, but as a general rule it stays exactly where it is. two more. Oh, this one. I think that's all of them. So your hair will look like this. Looks lovely, I think it will look great. What you want to do is you just want to run your fingers through it. Not very rough though. Just to try and put the curls together, make sure they're all facing the right way. You don't want some going one way, some going the other. Makes things look a little bit wonky if you do that. I don't know if the light's the best in here either, so I apologise for that. The front ones though, don't touch them yet. If you have any knots at the end of your hair, don't brush them out if you can help it. It'll smash out too many of the curls, which is bad. So, sorry about that. There you have it. I just wanted to get a little bit closer. That is currently how your hair should look. Okay. Now what you do with these front sections here, gather them together, comb them together gently. And then what you want to do is give them a bit of a back comb, but not too much. Because you don't want it to completely stand up like that. It's got to be flattened out a little bit. And then you just sort of fiddle with it. And then you'll end up with that little curl there. Now it is entirely up to you whether you leave it out or whether you want to tuck it underneath the rest of the hair. What you have to do is just sort of fiddle about, make sure it's nice and smooth. I like to tuck it under. What I usually do is put a clip in it. Just a little bobby pin. That's what you need. And then all you have to do then is clip it under and hide it with your hair. And you'll need a little bit of hairspray for this, just to keep that bit in. There. And you can use your little smoothing brush if you have one. You can just use a tail comb, you just have to be careful with it. Basically, you don't want to smash the shape of it out. So what you'll have, you can't really see it, it looks a bit like a barrel roll. It's like got a curve that goes in there, so you can see through it a little tiny bit. Then, this is the fun part. You take your paddle brush, good old trusty paddle brush, and you go from the underside. You don't really want to brush on top too much, except to smooth out the top layers. All you want to do now, very gently, brush through. Just to brush the curls into shape. Just make sure you're gentle. Brush it underneath and sort of curl it round to follow the shape of the curl, and it will go like that at the bottom. So it's not so much a ringlet curl anymore. It was when it was first taken out of the pin curls, but now it is a vintage style curl, which they're still quite tight, as you can see there. So what you can do, if you don't want them that tight, is you keep brushing them. Okay, so there you have it. I know the lighting is a little bit naff on this side, so we have the curls all going this way. And then what you want to do, just for the finishing touches, is take your pintail comb, rat tail comb, just smooth a little bit back, just behind your ear. And you just secure it with a bobby pin. Now what you might have to do, because you've changed the shape of the curls, is just give it another quick brush. Very gentle with it. So that's in there. And then I'm going to add this lovely hair grip clip. Now this will just go in there, just like that, just to add a little added piece of sparkle. With vintage styles you don't tend to have bumps at the back, it's all quite flat at the back. What you want to do is make sure you comb through, just to make sure there's no sections where you can see where you pin curled it before. Just go over the curls again. Sometimes it can look a little bit frizzy, that is the vintage look though. If you don't want the frizz, then put some product through it. I usually put a bit of serum on if I'm going to wash it, then pin curl it immediately, just to try and keep my hair a little bit smoother, just to stop it from frizzing up quite as much. So there you have it. This piece, this lovely sparkly piece here, I got from a vintage fair in Pelsall, which is quite local to me, from a lovely lady named Holly, who runs a company called Alternate Normality. Now Holly gave me a discount code for you lovely people to use. So if you go to alternatenormality.com and then check out what you want, when you get to checkout, put in the discount code UNICORN, you know, unicorns are awesome, and you'll get 10% off. So I suggest you head on over there. There's some really amazing things there. I will be doing a big purchase on Friday this week. So there you have it. There are my simple Marilyn curls. I hope you liked it, and I'll be back again soon. Bye!